When it first aired in 2017, young Sheldon brought a lot of new actors to play the younger versions of one of TV's most famous characters. The quirky charm of Ian Armitage as young Sheldon Cooper and the emotional performances of Zoe Perry, Montana Jordan, and Reagan Reverd won over the audience right away. But now, years later, fans are shocked to see the actors who used to be kids grow up and become adults. The group also grows up off-screen. The young Sheldon cast looks very different these days, with growth spurts and glamorous red carpet changes. We're going to tell you how life has changed for most of them. Come along with us as we skip around in time and between each character's events. Let's start with the side cast before we talk about the main group. Sheldon's favorite Sunday discussion partner is the first person to talk. Matt Hobby. Matt Hobby probably didn't know how much fans would enjoy playing Pastor Jeff Diffford on young Sheldon or how it would affect his own career when he first took on the part. Matt turned what could have been a stereotypical small-town preacher into one of the most lovable, complex, and surprisingly funny characters on the show by getting the comedic timing and sincerity just right. Before young Sheldon made him famous, he had already done a lot of comedic work. He had already been acting and improvising for a long time and had built a steady career playing weird, funny characters on TV shows like Heart of Dixie, Boardwalk Empire, and The Grinder. He had great comedic timing and a quiet, understated personality, which made him a great fit for young Sheldon, where earnestness and sensitivity are often more important than jokes. Pastor Jeff was first cast as a regular character in the show's first season, but he quickly became a mainstay of the show. His interactions with young Sheldon were both funny and thought-provoking, especially when the character tried, but often failed, to connect with the overly logical boy genius on religious issues, which often led to arguments about religion and science. His top-notch work was more than just an extra on Sunday, he became an important part of the show's emotional heart. His part got bigger as the show got more popular. By the third season, he had been made a regular on the show. People got a better look at Pastor Jeff's personal life, including his love life, his marriage, and even his problems as a parent. It gave what could have been a one-note part more depth, and he jumped at every chance to make the character change. Behind the scenes, Matt Hobby's life also went through big changes. In 1998, he and his wife, actor Mary Grill, had twin boys. This was around the same time that young Sheldon was becoming popular. He has talked about how the young Sheldon set became like a second home. It wasn't always easy to balance the demands of a hit network show with having a family. The family-focused tone of the show and the long-term cast chemistry helped make a supportive setting that fit with the show's themes. After a successful 7-season run, young Sheldon ended in 2004. He was one of many group members who thought they would have to say goodbye. Fans kept coming back every week even though the show was mostly about Sheldon Cooper's backstory. Other cast members, like Pastor Jeff, helped make the world around him more interesting. Matt Hobby hasn't slowed down since young Sheldon. He is already a busy writer and actor, but now he is back to his sketch comedy roots, working on original material and projects that show off his unique mix of subtle humor and emotional intelligence. He's also had guest parts on other TV shows as he tries to find a balance between comedy and drama. Many of his fans really want him to work with other cast members from young Sheldon again in the future, since they became close and had great chemistry on the show. There has been no official announcement, but he has made it sound like he might be writing or directing more of his own material. With his knowledge, many hands could look forward to his next projects, which are sure to make people laugh. Wyatt McClure. When young Sheldon introduced Billy Sparks as the strange and slightly lost next-door neighbor, not many people thought he would become one of the most lovable recurring characters on the show. This change happened because Wyatt McClure worked hard and was too cute to not like. Some of his odd one-liners and unexpectedly wise moments gave the show something new and different. Now that young Sheldon is over, fans are interested in what Wyatt will do next and how he's changed since taking on Billy's role. Wyatt was only 10 years old when he was chosen to play Billy Sparks in the first episode of Young Sheldon. Up until that point, he had done stand-up comedy and been in a few short films, but nothing like a big CBS sitcom. With his bowl cut and love of chickens, Billy was first presented as a weirdo who caused problems for young Sheldon. But Wyatt brought so much innocent joy and sincere comedy to the part that Billy became more than that. He became a symbol of childhood innocence and a surprising friend in Sheldon's otherwise structured world. He wasn't part of the Cooper family, but he stood out in every scene, whether he was trying to make friends with Sheldon or dealing with his own funny mistakes of what was going on around him. During the 7 seasons of the show, Wyatt grew up in front of the camera. Fans who have been watching since the beginning saw him change from a round-faced elementary schooler to a tall, sharp-witted teen with confidence. He still brought the same likable energy to the part. For a young actor, working on a big TV set for years is a lot of knowledge. Wyatt has talked a lot in talks about how much he learned working on young Sheldon, not just about acting but also about being professional, timing, and working with others. Because he worked with experienced producers like Chuck Lorre and a talented group, Wyatt was in a place where structure and creativity went hand in hand. He was also known for being a good guy on set who was always ready with a joke, looked out for his co-stars, and was eager to learn from the adult actors and directors around him. His efforts, which got better and better every season, showed how excited he was. Billy may have started out as a joke, but by the later seasons, he was a fully developed character, and Wyatt's growth as an actor is a big part of that. Even though Wyatt's fame is growing, he has stayed surprisingly grounded. He continues to live a pretty quiet life, juggling work, school, and family. On social media, he doesn't just promote his projects, he also talks to friends, makes jokes, and supports causes that are important to him. He also has a lot of respect for the fans who stuck with young Sheldon the whole time. Before the show's finale, he wrote a number of tributes to the cast, crew, and fans who made the trip special. He is even more likable now that he is humble and thankful, both on and off film. Also, he has done some charity work in public shows, especially ones that help kids in the entertainment business and new actors. He has said that he wants to play more complicated parts in movies and on TV, and maybe even try his hand at independent projects or voice acting. Besides that, he said in interviews that he likes writing and directing, especially the idea of making strange comedies with strong characters, which he clearly is good at. McKenna Grace made a big splash with her recurring part as Paige Swanson on Young Sheldon. She played a smart rival to Sheldon Cooper who was just as emotionally deep as he was. McKenna has done a lot of great things since her time on the CBS show, though. She is quickly becoming one of the most diverse young stars in Hollywood right now. She can act, sing, and produce. She was born in Grapevine, Texas, on June 25, 1996. She started acting when she was 6 years old and quickly got parts in a lot of famous TV shows and movies. This was her big break. She played a child prodigy opposite Chris Evans in the 2017 movie Gifted. The part got her a lot of attention and showed early signs of her emotional range and screen presence. McKenna joined young Sheldon as Paige, another smart kid who pushed Sheldon in school and in his personal life. Sheldon often took pride in how smart he was, but Paige's own intelligence and her efforts to find emotional support were a stark contrast to his own. Fans begged for more of Paige every time McKenna was on screen because she brought depth, wit, and vulnerability to the part. She is not only good at playing, but also a great singer and a rising producer. She has put out her own music, which often has emotional and moody themes that show how introspective her voice is as an artist. Her songs are about things like mental health, finding out about yourself, and being strong, which makes her stand out even more from many of her peers in the entertainment business. She has also been the executive director on a few of her own projects, which shows that she is already a leader and can make decisions behind the camera. Aryan Simhadri is another up-and-coming actor and singer who is said to be dating McKenna. Simhadri is known for his roles in Disney's reboot of Cheaper by the Dozen and the future Percy Jackson series. Fans think they are dating even though they haven't said anything official, but their friendship and rare appearances on social media have led to a lot of guessing. Even though she gets a lot of attention, she keeps her personal life low-key. She often spends more time at work and speaking out for important causes like mental health and climate change. Now, let's look at the show's main cast, the Cooper family. Zoe Perry, playing Mary Cooper on Young Sheldon by Zoe Perry wasn't just a great choice for the part, it was a Hollywood moment that came full circle. She played the same character on The Big Bang Theory as her famous mother, Laurie Metcalf. Zoe took on the part with grace, talent, and an amazing ability to make it her own. Getting the right actor to play Sheldon Cooper's religious, stubborn mother was very important when CBS launched Young Sheldon as a prequel to the hit show The Big Bang Theory. With her funny timing and deep emotional range, Laurie Metcalf made the character famous. It was close to home that the answer was. Zoe Perry, who is Laurie's real daughter, was chosen to play Mary when she was younger. Some people thought the choice was poetic, but she didn't get it for free. Zoe tried out for the part like any other actress, and she got it because she was the best. Right away, her performance showed that she was more than just her mom's daughter. Fans loved how she played Mary Cooper as both strict and caring, adding layers of warmth, worry, and comedy to the screen. Zoe got a lot of praise for how she made Mary more complicated than a simple religious conservative stereotype. Her Mary was strict and loving at the same time. She was very watchful, but she was also easily overwhelmed. She was what held the Cooper family together, and Zoe did a great job of showing how delicate that balance was. She was known behind the scenes as someone who worked well with others and cared about others. Zoe found her own voice and made her mark on the series, even though it was hard to play a part that was so similar to her mother's. Following the end of Young Sheldon in 2004, she moved on to the next part of her career without a hitch by continuing to play Mary Cooper in the spin-off show Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. The show turned its attention to a new generation of Coopers, but Zoe's part was still very important for keeping things going and keeping fans interested. After leaving the world of Sheldon, she's likely to go back to the theater. She had a role on Broadway in The Other Place with her mother, and she has talked a lot about how much she loves being on stage. Because Zoe doesn't like to talk about her personal life in public, fans were thrilled to learn that she married director Gab Terriblesy in 2012. The couple hasn't said much about their relationship, but social media posts show that they have a happy, loving home. Gab likes sharing stories with meaning, too. He is known for making food documentaries and short films. She didn't start acting officially until she was in her early 20s, even though she grew up as the daughter of two well-known actors. As a kid, her parents told her not to act because they wanted her to have a normal life away from the spotlight. She later discovered her love for acting on her own. After studying at Northwestern University, she got small parts on TV shows like Scandal, The Family, and Law and Order, Criminal Intent before getting her big break in Young Sheldon. Lance Barber may have grown up in a small town in Michigan, but no one has ever seen him on TV or in movies. He is well known for playing George Cooper Sr. People who watched The Big Bang Theory had only heard about the character of Young Sheldon until Lance played him on Young Sheldon. His path to one of the most popular shows on CBS is one of hard work, skill, and surprising successes. Before he became a part of Sheldon Cooper's confusing family life, Lance Barber had already made a good name for himself in theater and TV. He got better at improv with the famous Second City acting group in Chicago, where his comedic timing and character work really came out. After moving to Los Angeles, he got parts in hit shows like The Comeback as the cynical writer Paulie G, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia as the hilariously dysfunctional Bill Ponderosa. He also had guest roles on Grey's Anatomy, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and many more. For the 2017 season of Young Sheldon, which was a prequel to The Big Bang Theory, he was chosen as George Cooper Sr. Sheldon's father, a figure who was often described as flawed, distant, and who died at the end of the first season. When I got the part, it was hard to rethink George as more than just a background story. He took advantage of how unclear the character's description was to make George seem loving, overwhelmed, and more like a real person. He gave the written father a human side and played a blue-collar coach who was trying to keep his family together while raising a smart son who he didn't fully understand or connect with. He was a big part of Young Sheldon for 7 seasons. He got along well with Zoe Perry, Ian Armitage, and Montana Jordan, which helped the show feel like a real family. Several times, he talked about how much he enjoyed playing a father figure who was a lot more real than people thought he would be. In the group, he was known as one of the most grounded people behind the scenes. His sense of humor and Midwestern charm kept things light during long days of filming. He cared deeply about the job and often thought about how George Sr.'s complexity added to the memory of the Big Bang Theory in new ways. His work on young Sheldon ended with George Sr.'s sudden and sad death, which was one of the most emotional parts of the show and was also what happened to the character in the original series timeline. As tributes came in for Lance's powerful and praised performance, fans were heartbroken. Even though Lance died on the show, he wasn't totally gone from the world of young Sheldon. The spin-off Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, which came out in 2014, showed him again in dreams and memories. His appearance continued to give the family emotional support and to remind viewers of how George had shaped the Cooper family. He is likely to look for more acting jobs outside of the Sheldon franchise, and he might even go back to sketch and comedy. He doesn't talk much about his personal life when he's not on TV. He lives in Los Angeles with his cook wife, Eliza. They have 2 kids together and like having a home life that balances the demands of Hollywood with real-life, family-first responsibilities. Lance doesn't post much on social media, but he has said that being a dad is important to him, which is a good comparison to his most famous part. He has said in comments that being a dad is one of the best things about his life. This makes him more connected to the role of George Sr. When Lance Barber played young Sheldon, he took a one-dimensional backstory that was written down and made it into something very real. In doing so, he helped change the way people think about parents in sitcoms, seeing them not as clichés or comedic relief but as real people with hopes, regrets, and a love that is sometimes missed. The fact that Montana Jordan went from growing up in a small town in Texas to becoming a national TV star shows how talented and dedicated he is. Most people know him from his role as Georgie Cooper Jr. on the CBS series Young Sheldon. Jordan has captivated viewers with his real performances and character arcs that are easy to relate to. He was born in Longview, Texas, on March 8, 2003, and grew up in the close town of Ore City. When he was younger, he loved doing things outside, like football and dirt bike races. It was a surprise when he started acting. He was chosen from over 10,000 applicants in 2015 to play Jaden in the movie The Legacy of a White-Tailed Deer Hunter, which came out in 2018 and starred Josh Brolin. In March 2001, Jordan was cast as Georgie Cooper Jr. He was only 14 years old at the time. Sheldon Cooper's bigger brother, in Young Sheldon, a show that comes before The Big Bang Theory. Many people in the audience could relate to his performance as Georgie, a character going through adolescence in East Texas. It also showed off his natural comic timing and charm. Young Sheldon ran for 7 seasons, and during that time, his character changed from an unruly teen to a responsible young adult. His acting gave the Cooper family more depth by showing the struggles and growth of an older brother who is overshadowed by a smarter brother. Jordan's real Texan background added to the show's realism by showing how people really live in East Texas. After the last episode of Young Sheldon, Jordan played the same character in the spin-off show Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, which aired on October 17, 1984. The show is mostly about Georgie and his wife Mandy and how they deal with the problems that come with being young parents and married in Texas. His real-life experiences as a young father have affected how he plays the part, giving it more meaning and realism. In January 1995, he told everyone that he was going to marry his high school sweetheart, Jenna Weeks. On May 21, 2004, they had their first child, a girl named Emma Ray. Jordan told everyone on social media about the good news and how thankful and happy he was. Insiders say that his co-star Emily Osment helped him choose the right engagement ring. This shows how close they were as people and not just on the show. Reagan Reverd was born in San Diego, California, on January 3, 2008. Since then, she has become a powerful figure in the entertainment business. She is best known for playing Missy Cooper on CBS's Young Sheldon. Her journey from kid actor to novelist and advocate shows how talented she is in many areas. Reagan's love of performing started when she was young. She started modeling and doing commercial work when she was 4 years old. She first became known when she got a part in Modern Family when she was 6 years old. Since then, she's been in shows like Grace and Frankie and Alexa and Katie. After several tryouts and callbacks, she was finally cast as Sheldon Cooper's twin sister Missy Cooper in Young Sheldon in 2001. This part gave her a chance to create a character that was different from the ones she played in The Big Bang Theory. This gave her character more depth in the verse. She played Missy as a sassy, sure of herself child for 7 seasons, then as a young woman handling adolescence. People said that her performance gave the show emotional depth and often provided a grounded presence amidst the humorous parts. Her commitment to realism, which includes picking up a Texan accent based on Laurie Metcalf's performance as Mary Cooper, makes her character seem more real. Once Young Sheldon was over, she kept working as an actress by playing Missy again in the episode Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. After becoming an actress, she started writing. Her first book for young adults, Rules for Fake Girlfriends, will be out in the fall of 1995. The book is about grief, identity, and first love, which is what she is interested in right now. In addition to writing, she started the online book club Read with Reagan in 1999 to encourage young people to love reading. Over 55,000 people watch the club on Instagram, where they talk about books, interview authors, and hold interactive discussions. As of 25, she isn't known to be in a relationship. However, most of the cast has been very private, so it's not clear if that's fully true. She stays in touch with many of her co-stars from Young Sheldon and often jokes that she is the annoying little sister who stays in touch with everyone. Her relationship with co-star Montana Jordan is especially strong, and she has shown love for his daughter Emma. She also works as a junior volunteer for Children's Hospital Los Angeles and supports animal rescue in her spare time. It was October 28, 1952, in Nashville, Tennessee, where Annie Potts was born. She has had a long and successful career in movies, TV, and theater. She is best known for her parts in classic movies from the 1980s, and in Young Sheldon, she is lovingly called Meemaw. She grew up in Franklin, Kentucky, and became interested in the performing arts at a young age. To follow her dream, she got a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Theater from Missouri's Stevens College, where she now works as a visiting professor and committed board member. Her playing career began with a role in Corvette Summer in 1968 that was nominated for a Golden Globe. She became well known for her parts in Ghostbusters, 1984, Pretty in Pink, 1985, and Jumpin' Jack Flash, 1986. She also did the role of Bo Peep in the Toy Story movies, which is another thing she has done besides acting. Annie joined the cast of Young Sheldon as Sheldon's lively grandma, Constance Meemaw Tucker. She wrote that she loved her part and the cast very much, calling her young co-stars, practice grandchildren. She talked about the experience again after the show ended and said that Young Sheldon might be her last TV part, which shows how important the role and character were to her career. After the end of Young Sheldon, she kept working with the brand by playing Meemaw again in the spin-off show Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. She is still involved in theater and charity work in addition to playing. She works as a spokesperson for White Pony Express, a group in the Bay Area that feeds and clothes people who are in need. Since 1990, she has been married to James Heyman, a director and producer who has been nominated for an Emmy. Together, they have 2 kids, James and Harry. They met on the set of Breaking the Rules. She also has a son named Clay from a past relationship. They live in Los Angeles and are known for their charitable work. For example, they helped start the All or One Fund to help families during the COVID-19 pandemic. In her early 20s, she escaped a terrible car accident caused by a drunk driver. She had multiple surgeries and a long recovery period, which made her character tougher and helped her bring that grit to the screen as well. Finally, let's look at the main character of the show, Ian Armitage, whose story brought everyone together. Ian Armitage was born in Georgia, USA, on July 15, 2008. He is an American actor who became famous for playing the famous younger version of Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory on the CBS show, Young Sheldon. People were mesmerized by his performance, which showed how talented he was even at a young age, especially since the character is so changing. The performing skills run in his family. His father, Ewan Morton, is a Scottish actor and singer, and his mother, Lee Armitage, runs a theatre company. His early interest in theatre grew in this family-centered setting. His first job was as a theatre critic, and he posted reviews on his YouTube account, Ian Loves Theatre. His insightful reviews got the attention of people in the business, which led to him getting performing roles. After getting the part of Ziggy Chapman on HBO's Big Little Lies in 2016, he added to his list of playing credits. In the same year, he was cast as the lead in Young Sheldon, a show that comes before The Big Bang Theory. He tried out for the part of young Sheldon Cooper when he was only 8 years old. His performance added much-needed depth and warmth to the show, and both viewers and reviewers liked it. As the show came to an end in 2004, he thought back on it and said that young Sheldon was a big part of his life. This made sense, since he spent most of his youth playing the part and was surrounded by loving co-stars. After Young Sheldon ended, he looked into new things that interested him. He said he was very interested in flying and planned to get his student pilot's license and tell people about his experiences. In an interview, he said, "I just got my pilot's license, or my student pilot's license. I hope to get my private pilot's license when I'm 17. He also kept in touch with his Young Sheldon co-stars, often posting pictures from reunions and thanking them for the experiences they had on set. He went to the set of the sister show Georgie and Mandy's first marriage to show his support for the franchise's continued growth. As of right now, he is not known to be in a long-term relationship. He is still focusing on his personal hobbies, such as learning languages, going to the theater, and flying. The fact that Ian went from being a young theater fan to a well-known actor shows how talented he is. He is ready to take on many jobs and challenges in the future because he has a strong background in the arts and loves to learn. He has said that he would like to come back for the third season of Big Little Lies, which is still in the early stages of planning. Everyone on Young Sheldon seems to be doing pretty well so far, and some of them are even still working together in the spin-off show of the show that brought them together in the first place. Fans love seeing that their big family stays close even when they're not together on screen. How do you feel about the cast of Young Sheldon? Would you watch the new side show? Write your answer in the box below. Thank you for watching. Click play on the video you want to watch to see more fun movies. Also, don't forget to hit the bell, like, and follow so you know when a new video comes out.